comes Tim with a T8. That's 8/7" fluorescent light bulb. And here comes Wes with a T12. So if you're thinking of upgrading from the fat bulbs to the skinny bulbs, to fiberglass. Now molten glass, teased into fibers. Jake's got a bale of loose fiberglass Climate Pro. Thank you, Jake. And that can be blown through a blowing machine into your attic. Let's give it up for Wes and Tim with the fibrous R19 insulation blanket. Now typically for the blankets we use these on foundation walls. So in your crawl space or your basement. We'll put up plastic first, then we'll put up... That foil is a radiant barrier. When we insulate ductwork, notice the blanket is attached to the foil scrim, so it radiates the cold, let's say, from your attic back away from your ductwork. Cellulose is wood fiber and recycled paper. This insulation we have here is 85% recycled paper. Well, won't that burn? So, it will not burn. It's treated with boric acid, so it won't burn. Polystyrene. Extruded polystyrene is usually blue or pink. Very high R value of about 5 per inch. This is 2 inches of R10 blue board. Very good also for foundation walls, good for air sealing, very good in areas that might get moist. A little can of spray foam. That's very useful for air sealing as well. But does your water heater have a blanket? So we have the water heater blanket. We might need to move the pilot light before we wrap that. But we'll leave that candle burning. Now when we say atmospheric, this you do want to be careful if you're wrapping an atmospheric water heater with a blanket. You need to get combustion air to it. This would have a vent stack that would hopefully go through your roof and vent to the outside. Although as many of our auditors will attest, some people just vent theirs right into their room. And when we get there, they're like, I don't know why I have a headache. But go to the heat trap. Heat rises. So if you take the outgoing hot water line on your water heater, no matter what kind of water heater you have, electric or gas, and get a little longer one, put a bend in it, that's called a trap. Instead of the heat just rising continually out of that water heater, continually leaking or spilling heat, you can install a trap like a plumbing trap, and that heat has trouble making it around the bend. So you'll have less heat loss if you put a trap. We also want you to put pipe insulation on your water heater pipe. It's just a short piece. Thank you, Amanda. Look at the foam insulation polyethylene tank. We often see water heaters whose tanks rust out. You can see the heating elements in there. They roll that a little bit so everyone can see inside. But very streamlined. These are available through La Plata Electric, ultra insulated. Next, we're going to move on to furnaces. Furnace factors. Furnaces and boilers for space heating. So here's the front cabinet door. This is just a typical cabinet we find. And this is a typical filter we find when we go out to audit homes. Absolutely filthy. And this is just one we just recently pulled out of here today, or when you get home tonight. If you have a furnace, check the filter. If you're starving your furnace of air, it's going to short cycle. It could overheat. It could crack. Now let's move up to the 90%. Sealed combustion, electronic ignition, draft-induced, baffled heat exchanger, Venturi burners, secondary condensing heat exchanger. So cool. The modern furnace vents in plastic. PVC, very little waste heat. That's a 95% efficient furnace, only 5% waste going up the chimney. That's huge savings. An appliance like that's going to pay for itself in like a year, especially the rebates available. Storage heater. Electric heat by nature is efficient because it's used 100% at your space heater. But this heater is an ETS heater. It's loaded with several hundred pounds of bricks. And you can help protect the electric grid by putting on a watt watcher meter, pulling the heat to heat those bricks during non-peak times, and then those bricks retain the heat. That's it for our fashion show. If we could bring out all the fashion show participants.